I'm going to introduce at this time Alysia Melnick. She's from MCLU. She has been very, gosh, I can't say enough about her, I'm sorry. But she's been so helpful to us in helping with the wording of the bills and proposed amendments and or legalization, et cetera. Everything that we're doing statewide in the legislature, Alysia has been right there with us. So please thank her. And
Well, this is a great turnout. It's wonderful to see so many people down here on a Saturday afternoon. And I just want to say I agree with everything that former Sheriff, current Representative Dion said before me about the importance of putting patients first in all of this. That's really our bottom line. And everything in the bill that we helped draft and support is really focused on making sure that patients and people who help care for them are not criminalized, are not further put at risk for stigmatization and the ramifications of that in their personal lives. So I just wanted to go over a couple points in the bill, and we can just put it out open to questions too. I'm not sure. I think we can maybe, I'll just speak a little bit, and then maybe we can all, you can speak, and then we can all take questions rather than doing too many right now. But again, you know, our goal is to ensure privacy and also freedom from criminalization. So it's an act to amend the Maine an act to amend the Maine Medical Use of Marijuana Act to reflect the will of the people and protect patient privacy is the bill that is currently titled and is going to be introduced in the Maine legislature. Representative Sanderson from Chelsea is a Republican who is the lead sponsor on the bill, and she's been. Jump a little bit, please. Sure. Representative Sanderson from Chelsea is the lead sponsor of the bill. And she's a new Republican representative, and she really believes that the Citizens Initiative was not upheld, which we believe also. There was so the bill would further protect the patient privacy and patient interests by creating a voluntary registry, not a mandatory registry, so that the patients that wanted that extra protection of having that state-issued card could still have that process and that verification. But the patients for whom, as was said before, fear the kind of database and the likely at some point future breaches of those databases would have on them can have an option of still being considered a qualifying patient under Maine law. That's really the main focus of the bill. So again, it would create a voluntary registry for caregivers, a voluntary registry for patients, and it would also eliminate the reporting requirement to the legislature that was the impetus for the checkbox of medical condition on the current registry forms. So I know that that's been a big concern of patients and of actually doctors that are providing recommendations, and I don't believe there are any here, but I just want to thank the doctors in Maine who are willing to provide recommendations to patients. We've heard from many patients that it's difficult to find patients in some providers in some communities that are willing to provide recommendations. And there's a lot of concerns that are voiced by doctors, including, again, the reality that this is still illegal federally, and, whether true or not true concerns about licensing and that kind of thing. But another issue has been this board that was created also not part of the original Citizens Initiative, but a part of LD 1811, that a board of 11 doctors that has yet to be formed and has yet to meet a year later. Well, a little bit less than a year later, excuse me. So the bill would also eliminate the requirement that there be any new conditions added by this board and have it be, as all other medications, a decision between the patient and their doctor, as it should be. So that's another really important component of the legislation. by removing the requirement of the registry, it would also bring the protections that were included in the law to those without being on the registry. So protection from law enforcement, protection from having child custody decisions made on the basis of being a patient or a caregiver, housing decisions, and employment decisions. I think there's also some changes, in the definition of plant is further clarified. I know that's been a lot of concern of people's that wasn't defined in the law but only in the rules. So we've basically mirrored what was in the rules as far as 12-inch high, 12-inch wide flowering female as the definition of the plant. And in terms of hospices would no longer have to register, and dispensary employees would no longer have to submit their names and addresses to the government for no apparent reason. Another really important facet of the bill is that it eliminates the inspections by DHHS for caregivers. There is no reason that should exist. That was not, again, in the original bill and really serves no purpose. There's not the type of concerns. When it was justified in the legislation, it was compared to people that run nursing homes. And there's really no comparison to the type of concerns that someone might have about somebody running a nursing home versus somebody that is growing plants for sick people. I think that's about it. I just want to say again that our goal is really to ensure that patients have access. As Representative Dion has said before me, we believe that there are patients that whose best route to medication is one of either caregiver, to grow for yourself, or to have access to a dispensary. And to have this kind of three-pronged approach to access in Maine is really what's going to serve patients in Maine the best. So again, I think as we move forward, having that unity, understanding that we can have good laws that protect caregivers, protect dispensary operators and employees, and protect patients overall is really where we want to be in the end. So please contact your senator or representative. Contact me if you want to be, speaking at the hearing, which will be scheduled. We don't know when. The bill hasn't been printed yet, but we'd really like to see a lot of people up there and in support of this bill. Thanks. And I would just say that, I've heard a number of stories even just today that were just incredibly moving and underscored the importance of a lot of the changes that we're seeking to make in the current law. I met a man whose condition doesn't qualify because of its rarity. How is that justified as somebody that's not going to have access and protection under Maine law, considering how overwhelmingly the people passed the Citizens Initiative to increase access. So I think it is really important to get those stories to our lawmakers and help them understand that we're talking about seriously ill patients that need their medication.